side do I like? No, I'm just gonna sit in the middle. All right, hey guys. So like I said, I was gonna start doing these videos on my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Zach Strauss. I own Positive Vibe Media. So yeah, let's get started. So the most common question I get asked is, what equipment do I use? What am I shooting on? What picture profiles am I using? I'm really just gonna start out today with what cameras I have and what I started out with to what I have now. So I'm gonna start out with the camera I got first, and that was right out of college. Got the Canon 70D. It was a great starter camera. I shot my first weddings on it, all my first real estate, all my interview stuff was shot on this thing. So you really don't need that expensive of a camera to get started. You might have to work with some other people first. You might not be able to do it all on your own, but to get your foot in the door, just get a camera, reach out to someone that you like what they're doing, start working with them. This is not an industry where you're just gonna get a job as an employee and they're gonna train you on how to do everything. You kind of gotta have an idea of how to shoot, have even a portfolio to show the people that you want to work with so that they know, yeah, let's bring this guy on. One of the best pieces of advice I got, and I'll give it to you, it's luck doesn't exist. It's about being prepared for the opportunity when it comes. So if you're into cameras and things like that, or anything that you have, like graphic design, photography, DJing, music, it takes a lot of time by yourself learning stuff. I watch a ton of tutorials still from other videographers that I look up to personally to learn how they're shooting and to increase my skills. So really my go-to camera is my A7S II, which I'm shooting on right now, and my 24-70 lens. But then I have the A6300, which matches that camera perfectly with the picture profile and all of that. I use this as my second angle on interviews. I use that as my first angle on interviews. Another question I get asked a lot is what lenses I'm using and how do you choose. So I'm just gonna kind of tell you what lenses I have already. I have this 50mm prime lens, 1.2. It's great for a low depth of field. It really blurs out the background on an interview. Looks great. This is my go-to for interviews. Usually my second angle though. Another lens I got is the 17-35mm lens. It's great for real estate, so it's a wide angle. So, or when you're in a tight room and you have to do an interview, use this wide angle lens, it's great. And I'll get into like what 1.2 and 2.8 aperture and all that stuff is later on if people ask me. There's a ton of tutorials on YouTube as well. Another lens I got is the 70-200. Well, this lens is not mine, it's my buddy's, but I did just order my Sony native lens 70-200, which should be coming in today. So I might be able to talk about that in the next video. But this is great to sit in the back of a wedding because it zooms in super far, and yeah, or anywhere where you gotta kind of be out of the way and not in front of people and you gotta sit in the back of a room. 70-200. One more thing I did not answer is how I put the Canon lenses on my Sonys. I use this MetaBend Adapter. It's the most highly recommended one. It's 500 bucks. I mean, it's pricey, but it gets the job done, and you're able to use your Canon lenses on your Sony, because Sony lenses are a little bit more expensive, so it's a little bit harder to get a bunch of native lenses right away if you switch from Canon to Sony. Yeah, MetaBend Adapter, great purchase. Another question I get asked a lot is what stabilizer I use. I do have a Ronin M that I use, but not as much anymore because I'm really on the go a lot, and that's a big, I'll show you real quick. This is my Ronin M. See that? That's a big case to be carrying around and stuff. So I went and got the Zhyuin Crane, and I'll tag all my equipment in the description below. So I got the Zhyuin Crane, and I'll set it up real quick and just kind of show you. So yeah, this is my Zhyuin Crane. I got my Sony A7sii on there with a 16-50mm lens, 3.5 to 5.6 aperture. This is great for real estate walkthroughs and following a subject so you don't get that shake that you get when you're walking handheld. I'll turn it on for you real quick so you kind of see it. Boom. Doesn't even move. So it's great. I love this thing. It's really light, easy to work with. Concerts can run around with it, weddings, got it on the side at all times. I love it. So I'm trying to keep these short and sweet because I know people have the shortest attention span ever. So another question I get asked real quick is what editing software I use. And I use Final Cut Pro because I got Mac. I know a lot of people use Adobe Premiere. Both of them are good. It's really personal preference. I like Final Cut Pro. That's what I use. Another question I get asked a lot is what kind of hard drives do I use? When I'm on the go and like traveling and things like that, or just editing small projects, not at my house, just on my laptop, I'll use these portable hard drives. They're small, easy to pack up in my bag. I think this is a 3 terabyte, and then the other two are 2 terabytes that I have. But yeah, they work great. They haven't crashed on me yet. But when I'm at my house, I use G-Raid. So I got my G-Raid right here. This is a 16 terabyte, pretty big boy. And I got 4 terabyte one as well. And then I have an 8 terabyte, just other hard drives. It's not a G-Raid, but I don't really use it anymore. It's more of a backup. So yeah, that's really all I'm going to talk about today. I mean, I got a lot of other equipment that I could talk about, like my lights and microphones. But I'll get to that later, especially if people ask me to talk about it. Let me know any other questions you guys got. I'll answer anything about me, myself, my business. Just let me know. I hope you guys like it, enjoy it, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Peace.
I try to get a job, but they turn me down. I know life ain't fair, that's why I don't play around. I know these niggas scamp as hell, that's why I don't go around. I know these bitches very well, they ain't gonna hold you down. So I'm out here on my lonely getting money now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ain't no stopping now.